It's Scola! One thing I really don't like, there are a few vegan YouTubers who just come for people. They literally just attack people. I've been living my life here on YouTube scared for the day that they attack me.
The day has come. We found you.
We've come to suck your non-vegan blood, Scola! So today's video is on Scola Dondo.
Don't worry, we've removed our Dracula teeth. No blood sucking in this video.
Scola has over 200,000 subscribers across her 2 YouTube channels.
And she made a video talking about veganism, her views about it. Now, she's not vegan, but she actually has quite a bit of vegan education. She spoke about veganism not just as a diet, but the broader aspects. She spoke about the environment and some health issues. So she knows quite a bit, and her boyfriend is actually vegan. So in this video, we want to respond to a few things that Scola raised, and they definitely need some vegan attention.
Even honey is considered an animal product, and so a few vegans are a bit of a grey area on that one, but most of them don't eat honey.
Correction, there is no grey area. Bees are animals. Honey and other bee products come from bees. Vegans don't eat animal products, so honey is not vegan. For anyone who's still eating honey and calling themselves a vegan, they're really just eating a plant-based diet and haven't yet made the ethical connection.
One of the main causes for global warming, though, is cattle farming. And it is because cows themselves produce a lot of CO2.
Cows actually produce methane, not CO2.
And methane is approximately 20 to 100 times more potent a greenhouse gas than CO2.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the transition into going vegan is a very difficult one. For some people it is very easy.
Like anything in life, transitioning to veganism is as easy or as difficult as you choose it to make. It's no more difficult for one person than it is for another. It's simply what we tell ourselves, and it sounds like, Scola, that you've already determined that this is going to be a difficult transition for you, but that doesn't have to be the case at all.
For me, first of all, I'd like to do more research. For example, if for the last 20 years of my life I've been told that it's okay to eat meat and it's okay to eat dairy, the next food choices I make, I'm gonna have to do research myself, because I don't want to just jump straight into it and then in a few years we find out that there's something wrong with veganism as well.
Yes, definitely educate yourself further, Scola. We would recommend Forks Over Knives, the documentary, and also Uprooting the Leading Causes of Death, a YouTube video by Dr. Gregor of nutritionfacts.org, who also has a wonderful website we recommend you check out. Yes, there are trust issues because doctors who have been telling us that meat, dairy and eggs are necessary for our health have been misinformed themselves. They receive little to no nutritional education during their entire medical degrees.
And that's why it's important to get your education from leading plant-based doctors that have actually got the education in nutrition, plant-based nutrition. They've written books, they've done studies. There are a heap of people that you can look up and trust.
And in fact, the longest living population on Earth is the Seventh-day Adventists from California who eat a vegan diet. And the other thing you can do is simply use your common sense and observe that hospitals are not full of vegans, they're full of meat, dairy and egg eaters.
Secondly, it is just a difficult thing to do. I've told you guys I suffer from binge eating, I have problems with cravings, I'm not a very controlled person when it comes to food.
This has nothing to do with control, it's all about proper nutrition.
Science tells us that the preferred energy source of the human body and the exclusive energy source of the human brain is glucose. And when we don't eat enough carbohydrates from whole plant foods, the brain signals the body to continue to seek calories in order to get the glucose that it requires.
Hence the binging on foods like cakes and cookies and candy.
I will never outright say that I am vegan or that I'm going plant-based, because I know I'm gonna have slip-ups at some point. It will take me time to be able to make those changes. I mean, I was obese when I was younger because I lacked self-control.
And this is where you need the ethical education. You need to watch documentaries like Earthlings or Farm to Fridge to really understand that every time you slip up, an animal has its throat slit. Once you make that connection, you will see that your choices have a direct impact, an action on an animal's life, on the planet, on so many other things that go beyond your taste buds and what you think is binge eating.
And your obesity had nothing to do with the lack of self-control, but again, inadequate nutrition.
And if you feel like you're going to slip up on a vegan diet, well then at least slip up on all this vegan junk food. Everything that you binged on as a non-vegan, you can find in its vegan form. It can be nasty, fatty, greasy, disgusting, whatever. It's all there as vegan food, so no animal has to be harmed.
So that's my plan, to go pescatarian. Once I've gone pescatarian, I'll go vegetarian. Once I've gone vegetarian, then I will make the leap into veganism if I feel like that's the right thing to do.
Yes, of course it's the right thing thing to do, and you will make that connection. You will understand that completely once you've watched these documentaries to further understand the environmental impact, the ethical impact, and the impact on your health. Great that you're going to take these steps. We think that's wonderful. But of course, you do need to understand that every single time you eat animal foods, you are taking an animal's life. So this process of transition should be as quick, as swift as possible to minimize basically suffering and death.
I just do have a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to vegans because I've come across some really bad ones.
We have a bad taste in our mouth about non-vegans. We've just really come across some bad ones.
That being said, there are probably a ton of good vegans. You know why? Because they stay quiet. They only talk to you when you ask them questions about veganism.
So the only good vegan is a quiet vegan. Veganism is a social justice movement. Just like racism, sexism, and all the other social justice movements that have come before it, vegans need to be vocal in order to wake up the masses who are in a meat-induced stupor.
You would definitely feel different about this, Scholar, if it was your life that we were speaking up for. If it was your head literally on the chopping block, you'd probably say, hey, vocal vegans, make a few more videos, scream a little louder, hold up your banner a little higher. We have to start understanding that this is literally about saving lives, not keeping silent.
And I wish vegans would really just calm down when it comes to that and realize that people are just uneducated. It feels like, how have I been told that it's okay to eat meat? Suddenly you're going to tell me that I can't eat any animal products. You're lying, get out. That is some people's immediate reaction. It's going to take time for people to change their minds and make a difference. And I feel like vegans need to take that into account.
Yes, of course we know this. We were not born vegan. In fact, we only know about, what, 3 people who were actually born vegan. 99% of vegans were once meat eaters too. So we understand exactly what it's like to receive this information for the very first time. And from then it's a choice whether you're ready to take it on board or not.
Carnists, people who believe it's normal, natural and necessary to eat meat, interpret vegans as attacking them when in actual fact they're just providing education contrary to their core belief system.
People have said they want me to get raped, murdered and abused just because I eat animal products and I deserve it because that's what I'm doing to animals. Can we take a moment to think about how that... Is anyone gonna go vegan if you sound that crazy? Because you do, you sound crazy.
Actually, what's crazy is that we rape animals and we murder babies because it tastes good and it's convenient.
And vegans are not wishing those actions upon you. What they're wishing is that you would open your heart to empathy and compassion and put yourself in the victim's shoes so that you can see what they experience.
And ultimately, words versus action. No comparison. Anything a vegan says pales in comparison to the actions that take place to produce meat, dairy and eggs. And yes, many vegans can come across negative and angry and like we're a little bit crazy, but that's because we have woken up to the reality of what's going on. 2,000 animals a second are slaughtered for food alone. That is a ridiculous number. When you have watched the slaughterhouse footage, when you've seen what goes on, you feel like you're in a nightmare, you're screaming and you can't wake up. You're trying to reach out to the people around you. Hey, come on guys, this is not okay. We're killing ourselves, animals and the planet at a rate of extinction. It is not okay. So this all comes out and it can be interpreted by people that don't understand as crazy, but it's not, it's just the truth. So get the education, open your eyes, open your heart, make the connection, and you will understand where we're coming from.
One thing I really don't like, there are a few vegan YouTubers who just come for people. They only go for the YouTubers with over 1 million subscribers. They do a whole video exposing them. For me, that just feels like a big ball of negativity. They're just attacking these huge YouTubers so that they can get more attention, more subscribers, more views, more money for them, basically.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we don't sit here watching slaughterhouse footage to make videos for money, okay? If vegan YouTubers wanted to make money, we'd all be doing makeup tutorials and outfit of the day and my shopping haul in New York or whatever.
The reason popular vegan YouTubers like Frilly the Banana Girl make videos for popular YouTubers like Jenna Marbles, who has 16 million subscribers, is because if just a small fraction of her subscriber base were to go vegan, that would result in saving thousands of animals' lives.
This is about saving lives, not making money, and it's a very strategic method that is used because it is the most effective way to reach the biggest number of viewers.
be kind. Make a kind video, a kind message saying, you know what, I think what you're doing might be a little bit not the greatest. Maybe you might want to make a change. Instead of just being like, you know what, you just killed 55 pigs with your bare hands, you murderous, evil person.
Look, the reality is we're entering the 6th mass extinction
in cosmological history.
However you want to get that across, go for it. The important thing is that people are speaking up about this, and every method of activism works.
For example, we went vegan listening to the cold hard truth laid down in a somewhat less than kind manner.
Yeah, some people need a real punch, a real wake-up call to be shaken up. Other people like to be tickled. So there's something for everybody out there. You can't judge vegan activists based on one or two or a few things that you've seen or heard. There are many different ways.
And nobody can make anyone else go vegan. Someone's either ready or they're not.
And it doesn't matter how the message is delivered in that moment. They will hear it or they won't.
I know a lot of vegans don't even respect vegetarians because they still think vegetarians are doing the worst thing in the world too, but at least it's a step closer. At least it's better than the worst.
In 2015, I think we can do a lot better than the worst. The reality is that the dairy and egg industries are more violent and cruel than the meat industry.
Babies are murdered, mothers are raped, families are torn apart. It is not okay to support that long term. And ultimately, all these animals that are used for dairy and egg production are sent to the slaughterhouse for their meat anyway.
Even if it is meatless Mondays, I've seen people attacking people for having meatless Mondays, saying, what, do you think that's making a change?
What we need to do in this situation is understand speciesism, a form of discrimination just like racism and sexism, where human animals discriminate against non-human animals. If we change the victim, we would never be okay with rapeless Mondays, child abuse-free Tuesdays, slavery-free Wednesdays, domestic violence-free Thursdays.
To the victim, violence is violence, abuse is abuse, and they just want it to stop. Yes, meat-free Mondays are a great first step, and there are many people that have used that to go and move into full veganism, which is fantastic. But how long is that process going to take? Is it going to take years and years and years? That's not good enough. It needs to be a short amount of time, because every meal that you have takes somebody's life. You
know what, vegans, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing something great, especially if you truly believe it's going to do good for this planet. Then keep up your great work. I'm really proud of you.
We know you're coming from a place of good intention here, Scola, but we have to say it's very patronising when a non-vegan compliments a vegan for their cruelty-free lifestyle. We know what we're doing is right for people, animals and the planet.
We don't need a pat on the back. What we need you to do is to step up, make the connection and be an example of change. We need you to go vegan and spread this message to your audience.
And you mentioned you're open-minded. We need you to open your heart, Scola.
So please go down below to the description box. There is a list of resources for you to look at, to work through, educate yourself. We're here if you need any help, if you have any questions, and let's start spreading this vegan message together.
Thanks for watching, guys. Help us make sure that Scola sees this video by posting it on her YouTube and Instagram.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
And remember, until next time, going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do.
See you guys.
So when you sit down and eat that nice, tender, juicy hamburger, just think that animal fucking screamed and begged for its life.